Well, good Tuesday morning there, Coastal Bend, 6:26 a.m. Getting a live look out there with Snoopy Skycam. Thanks to Matthew CCAC, sitting at 55 degrees. A gorgeous look with the sunrise coming up earlier and earlier now, thanks to the time change this past weekend. Water's looking nice and calm. Not too many boaters out there either, it's looked like so far this morning. But starting off pretty good as we're heading out the door with the 50s around the area. And as we looked at yesterday, it was pretty chilly in the morning, coming in the 40s where we were yesterday. We saw a couple 40s this morning too, but not as chilly as we're seeing, and slow warm up throughout this week. 80 degrees is what we got to for that daytime high, and that was right on the money in terms of those daytime high averages. In terms of the record, a little bit short. That was 91 degrees back in 1992. And the morning lows, that record was 31 back in 1951. So we're going to see when we get our first freeze. Not quite on the board yet for the Coastal Bend, and of course plenty of rain needed to make up for the 2025 deficit so far. Those temperatures in your neighborhood sitting in the 50s off to the west, 53 in San Diego, as well as 50 in Hebbronville right now, 55 here in town, 71 the warm spot this morning over in Port Aransas. The Naval Air Station coming in about 66 degrees, and then 64 up in Ingleside rounding us out this morning. Those dew points also still fairly dry in the 50s for most of us. 60 there at the Naval Air Station, the peak of that moisture, 56 in Port Aransas, 51 over there in Hebbronville, and off to the north, Beeville coming in at about 52 for that dew points. But these are all likely to rise throughout the day and really throughout the week as we see this southeasterly flow start to take over just a little bit. But not looking too bad to take the pup out for a walk either. Today we've got Hubert here, who's fully in the November spirit with his pumpkin, of course. And as we look at those temperatures for Hubert's walk this morning, going to be 74 degrees by 9 a.m., 76 there by 10 a.m. As we're heading out to lunch, about 79 to 80 degrees as we head early into the afternoon, with those winds turning a little bit more southeasterly into the afternoon as well, around that 10-mile-an-hour mark. So not too bad at all. And in terms of those feels like temperatures, only going to be the lower 80s by that peak heating by about 3 to 5 p.m., or at least 2 to 4 p.m., feeling like about 82 degrees. And then we start that nightly cool down back into the 50s for the overnight hours. But like I said, just each day slowly going to climb in those temperatures through about Friday to Saturday. For today, those forecast highs in your neighborhood going to be the upper 70s along the coast, 78 in Rockport to the Naval Air Station, 77 in Aransas Pass, 83 here in Corpus Christi. And as you work your way inland, that's where we see more of those 80s on the board, with 82 in Alice and 83 as well over in Freer and Hebbronville for that forecast high for today. But like I said, slowly going to climb throughout the week by Friday into Saturday. That's where we see the peak of that above average temperatures. Then we get a good cold front in the area by Saturday night into Sunday morning. Then we see that steep drop to below average by Monday into Tuesday, then right back above average as we head into the back half of next week. So a little bit of a roller coaster in terms of temperatures on the way for the Coastal Bend, but still, like I said, no freezes on the board right now. In terms of the current Doppler radar, nice and clear skies out there, and that's going to be what we see throughout our Tuesday. Plenty of those sunny skies, I should say, just a little bit of cloud cover trying to push in from the Gulf, but overall mostly sunny skies going to be around for today, tomorrow, and throughout most of the week. The sunny skies are going to take over under the influence of that high pressure, with the temperatures slowly rising and rain chances continuing to stay pretty low until we get to about Saturday. That's where we see just an isolated chance with the arrival, I should say, of that cold front into Sunday morning, but overall chances isolated at best, probably not going to see too much. Those temperatures do drop though from the 90s Friday into Saturday to the 70s by Monday, with overnight lows going from the mid 60s down to the mid 40s by Sunday night.